Gun violence in this country is an epidemic, and it's an international embarrassment.
President Biden takes executive action to crack down on gun violence. The president outlined 6 executive actions. Those include requiring serial numbers and background checks for so-called ghost guns that are made at home.
Now, the president's address coming after several mass shootings all across the country. Our Jay Burrs following this announcement and joins us live now with local reaction. Jay.
Yeah, good evening, guys. As you mentioned, President Joe Biden issuing several executive orders dealing with guns, trying to curb gun violence, or at least how he thinks this ought to be curbed. Now, this does come on the heels of several incidents, and even a couple that you guys just mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Now, the 3 biggest takeaways from today's announcements deal with what has become, as you mentioned, Kevin, ghost guns, which are those kits where you can build your own gun at home, and they normally do not have serial numbers on them because they don't come as an actual weapon. Now, the Justice Department will issue in 60 days a rule on pistol stabilizers and bring them potentially under the National Firearms Act, which would then increase the cost and the scrutiny of purchasing that accessory. The Justice Department will also put out a model red flag law for states to potentially adopt. Now, gun proponents think many of the rules will not do anything to curb gun violence, as these are government overreach into law-abiding citizens' rights, while those who support these actions say this is just a jump-off point for meaningful gun regulation legislation discussions.
Up with things like, oh, it's just common sense, or oh, it's a loophole that we're trying to close. Those are lies. Those are absolute lies that are designed to get people to not pay attention and to go back to the sports page and get back onto their daily life.
Executive orders can never take the place of true meaningful legislation, but I think that it is time to have a serious debate on gun control and what we can do to actually try to make sure that guns are not ending up in the wrong hands.
Now, the owner of Arkansas Armory, Nathan House, said a majority of gun violence in this country is from suicides, and that he believes that is the issue that should be taken up. Representative Love said red flag laws should be in place to add another layer of protection, as many gun deaths are also domestic in nature. Now, the legislature is working through some bills that could potentially allow the state of Arkansas to, in essence, ignore some of these executive orders. Now, they're still making their way through the process, so not quite to that point yet, but I did speak with Nathan House here at the Arkansas Armory. He did say he wasn't sure how those things would actually mesh together, as gun stores here in the state of Arkansas and across the country really have to be federally regulated, so it's kind of a, what's going to happen with that. We'll definitely have to cross that bridge once we see one of these laws pass through. But for now, live in Sherwood, Jay Burr, Fox 16 News.
All right, Jay, thank you.